He also just, I know we won't belabor the creative part of it, but too long, but he also unlocked the biggest thing in the, he sent us a 10-minute voice memo.
It was more like 17 minutes.
Which is a terrifying thing to get from anyone. You're like,
I would say that they're more surprises because they have beginnings, middles, and ends. They're not like, it's not just like a, hey, there's the person and we move on. It's they're there for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said it just earlier, but I wanted to go back on that. You think that this might be the greatest film that you've...
I mean, look, most of the time when the movie is this much fun to make, you up bad.
Yeah. My relationship with my father, which was very complicated and difficult. My dad was a very, I come from a middle class, kind of blue collar home, and my dad was just of that generation where it's just like, he was Clint Eastwood and less is more. Simple grunts is how he communicated.
Okay, gotcha.
I think people tell themselves stories, and this sort of comes back to your worldview that you just mentioned about.
Well, that is also accurate and weirdly high praise as well. It was just one of those. It felt like a live-action Pixar movie. It was something that, I wanted to do something where nobody was being stabbed in the face.
Yes.
There was almost no blood at all. I think I got a little paper cut on the movie. That was about it. And something that my kids can watch, but also as a parent, too, you want the parents need to get punched right in the heart as well.
About a month ago, this really hit home with me too. About a month ago, I was sitting in traffic and I was just like jamming These Dreams by heart. Whoa. I was killing it in the car. And there was just this busload of high school kids that were parked right beside me. I didn't even realize. I looked over and every one of their jaws were just on the ground laughing their friggin' guts out at me.
Ryan Reynolds, the internet's favorite funny guy, is caught in a Marvel storm. And this time, there are receipts. The same man who turned Deadpool into a billion-dollar franchise is suddenly at the center of a controversy that could change everything. And the craziest part, no one saw this coming for years. Ryan has been Hollywood's golden boy, beloved by fans, respected by his peers, and a guaranteed box office success. But now, whispers of behind-the-scenes drama are threatening to flip his entire career upside down. Insiders are coming forward with shocking details, hinting at power struggles, heated arguments, and even moments that Marvel wanted to keep buried. What really went down on set that forced Marvel to take action? And why is Ryan staying so quiet? When the rumors are spiraling out of control, this story is bigger than you think, and the fallout could be massive. Let's break it all down. At first, it sounded completely ridiculous. Ryan Reynolds, a meltdown? No way. The man is Hollywood's golden boy, known for being one of the chillest and most easygoing guys in the industry. He's built an entire career on his sharp wit, self-deprecating humor, and effortless charm. The idea of him losing his cool on set seemed almost laughable. But then, the whispers started. At first, they were dismissed as just another baseless rumor floating around Hollywood, the kind that pops up and disappears without a trace. But this time, something felt different. The murmurs grew louder, and soon, insiders started hinting at something much bigger brewing behind the scenes. They claimed that Marvel had actual documentation, internal receipts, logs, and records that supposedly proved something serious had gone down. Initially, no one knew what these so-called receipts contained. Speculation ran wild, but without solid proof. It was easy to brush off as just another overblown Hollywood drama. But now we have a much clearer picture. And if the whispers are even half true, it's not looking good for Ryan. In fact, it could be career-changing. So what exactly do these receipts contain? According to sources, they're not just gossip. We're talking production logs, internal memos, and maybe even behind-the-scenes footage. And what they allegedly reveal is nothing short of shocking. One report claims there was a heated confrontation with a co-star that nearly shut down filming for the day. Another suggests Ryan clashed with Marvel higher-ups over major creative decisions, leading to long, tense meetings that went nowhere. But here's the real bombshell: Marvel felt the situation was serious enough to document it, keeping official records of every incident. That's practically unheard of, especially for a franchise as notoriously secretive as the MCU. And it doesn't stop there. Some sources say these receipts don't just outline disagreements, they expose a power struggle that could shake the entire Marvel structure. Executives were reportedly divided, some backing Ryan, while others believed his approach was a threat to the franchise's vision. The fact that this level of discord even made it into official documentation suggests that what happened behind the scenes was far worse than the public knows. And if these receipts ever go fully public, the fallout could be massive. So what caused the meltdown? Well, according to multiple sources, the script was a nightmare, a chaotic mess of conflicting visions and endless revisions. Ryan is known for improvising, bringing his signature wit and spontaneity to every role. But this time, Marvel wanted strict control. They weren't leaving anything to chance, demanding that every line, every scene, and every joke be carefully vetted and approved. The result: constant rewrites, frustrating delays, and a growing sense of tension on set. Some insiders claim Ryan was pushing for more Deadpool-style humor, wanting to maintain the irreverent, fourth-wall-breaking tone that made the franchise a hit, while the studio was adamant about toning things down to fit within the larger MCU framework. But the arguments reportedly didn't stop at comedy. They escalated into a full-blown battle for creative control. Ryan, despite his A-list status and proven success, found himself butting heads with Marvel executives who were unwilling to compromise as egos clashed and frustrations boiled over. What started as a simple disagreement transformed into an all-out power struggle, and eventually, things got heated, with reports suggesting that some meetings even ended in shouting matches. The tension behind the scenes became impossible to ignore, setting the stage for the storm that was about to erupt. Here's where things get really interesting. Marvel is notorious for handling drama behind closed doors. If something leaks, that usually means it's way bigger than they want you to believe. And in this case, the whispers are only getting louder. Not only were the receipts shared internally, but some insiders believe Marvel even adjusted their marketing plans because of them. If true, that means this wasn't just a one-time issue. This was something that could affect the entire franchise. Some reports suggest Marvel was forced to rework key elements of their promotional strategy, carefully crafting their messaging to avoid drawing attention to the controversy. But that's not all. Behind the scenes, executives were allegedly scrambling to contain the fallout. Meetings were held, damage control strategies were put in place, and some even claim that certain figures within Marvel were at odds over how to handle the situation. The fact that this much effort went into keeping it quiet tells you just how serious it really is. The question is, what's in those receipts that made Marvel tread so carefully? And more importantly, why does it seem like they're terrified of what might come next? Publicly, Ryan is acting normal. He's still making jokes online, still playing the part of Hollywood's funniest guy. His social media is filled with the usual witty banter, and he's making appearances like nothing's wrong. But behind the scenes, the story is playing out in a much more chaotic way. Insiders claim Ryan's PR team is in full damage control mode. They're working overtime to contain the situation before anything more leaks, scrambling to shift the narrative before things spiral further. Crisis meetings, carefully worded statements, and behind-the-scenes deals are all reportedly in motion to protect Ryan's public image. Some believe that Marvel is holding back even more damning evidence, things that could completely shift public perception of the star. And if that's true, Ryan's silence makes a lot more sense. If the situation wasn't serious, wouldn't he have addressed it by now? The fact that he hasn't might just be the biggest red flag of all. So who let this slip? Marvel keeps things locked down, so this kind of leak is rare. But here's the twist: some believe it wasn't just a random crew member spilling the tea. Some speculate this was a power move in a bigger behind-the-scenes battle at Marvel, one that's been brewing for months. Think about it. Marvel has been going through major changes, studio shakeups, executive drama, financial concerns. The whole company is in flux. And when that happens, power struggles emerge. If someone inside wanted to weaken Ryan's position, leaking this would be the perfect way to do it. Some sources claim this leak wasn't an accident at all. It was a warning shot, a way to shake things up, test the waters, and see how fans would react. Others believe it's part of a larger campaign to shift control within Marvel, possibly signaling an even bigger shake-up behind the scenes. And if that's true, Ryan might just be the first casualty in a much larger game. Ryan Reynolds has dodged scandals before, but this one feels different. If those receipts go fully public, his carefully crafted image could take a massive hit, one that even his charm and humor might not be able to fix. His reputation as Hollywood's most likable leading man is on the line, and fans are starting to wonder if there's more to the story than meets the eye. But the real question is, will Marvel stand by their star? Or is this the beginning of a major fallout? With so much at stake, Marvel has a decision to make, one that could affect not just Ryan, but the entire future of the MCU. And if more details emerge, the consequences could be even worse than anyone imagined. One thing's for sure, the story is far from over, and the fallout is only just beginning.